Okay, so I'm going to be going over these questions. I'm going to cross these out because I'm not going to do those. All right, first what you need to do is pay attention to the question. It says that we are starting at Q, Q, Q. Okay, so we need to go from the Q angle. So that would be in this corner because that's the letter Q. It means you don't need P or R. Okay, so since this is Q over here, it means H and A are one of these two. H is always the one across from the 90. So if the 90 is here, this one would be H. And H is always the biggest side. So this is the hypotenuse. This is the adjacent because the angle always connects H and A, and this is opposite. So all you are doing really is now answering the question. When they say sine Q, they mean the opposite on top of the hypotenuse. So that would be the 14 on top of the 50. Cosine Q would be adjacent A. So that would be 48 on top of hypotenuse, so 50. And the last one is tan of Q, which is opposite 14 over adjacent 48. And then there you go, you're done. Those are your three answers of your fractions. This is also an ALEKS called February 1st that you can practice. And then from there, this is a little different because on this one, we knew all the numbers on the outside of the triangle. The next one, you are asked to find this side of the triangle. So you want to know how long it is. Okay, you're going to start by still labeling your sides hypotenuse, opposite, and adjacent. So here's the 90, here's the hypotenuse. And then if the degree is in this corner, that means HA. H, and the 17 would be A, and this one's O. You are going to cross out the outside that is empty or blank. We need to find this answer, so we need that one. We have the 17, so we need it. The one that we don't need is H. That's the one that we're crossing out. So because we crossed out the H, again, sin is OH. Well, we crossed out the H, so we can't use sin. Cosine is AH. Again, we crossed out the H, so we can't use cos. So this problem is tan. Tan is the O over the A. So we're going to do tan, and then we put the degree, and then it's the O on top of the A. So the degree would be 48 degrees. The O would be X. You put X on top. And the A would be 17. Okay, from here, you're just solving for X. So because the number is at the bottom, all it does is it moves to the beginning of the problem. And this is because this is X divide. This line means divide 17, so the opposite would be to multiply by 17, and then multiply by 17. So then these cancel, and then that's what we get. So really the 17 is just moving to the front. I just like to grab it and move it to the beginning. So it's going to be 17 times tan 48, and you type that into your calculator, and that's what would give you the decimal answer. 17 tan 48. And it would be 18.9 equals X. And there you go. That would be your answer. And then we're done. They kind of just keep moving like that. I'll do one more and that'll be all. So 90 degrees here. So it means H is this one, the 29. Okay, here's the degree. So it means this one is H. The bottom has to be A because the degree is always connected to the A. Because the letter A stands for adjacent, which means next to the degree. And this is O. We are going to scribble out. We need this one because it has a 29, and we need this one because that's what we're trying to find. So we don't need the A. That's the one that gets scribbled out. Because we scribbled out the A, it means we have to use sin. Sin is the one that has O and H. So we're going to do sin, degree, equals the O and the A. The O and the H. So the degree is 67 degrees, the one with the little circle. And then the O would be X and the H would be 29. So again, you grab the number and you do move it to the front on this one also. 29 sin 67. And you type that into your calculator, and that's what would give you your answer. I'm actually gonna do one more where the number's not at the bottom, so let me see. Yeah, this one's good. Okay, so this will be the last one that I do. Okay, this is the 90, this is the H. The A would be on top because it's connecting the 29 degrees, and this is O. We are gonna scribble out the A. So that means I have to use sin again, but it's gonna be different. Sin 29 degrees equals the O. The O is 12 on top now. And the H is X. This one, because the 12 is not at the bottom, you don't just move it to the front. You're not gonna move 12 to the front. It doesn't work because 12 is at the top. So for this one, what happens really is, I'm gonna show you the work, but you don't need to show the work. So the X technically is the one that moves to the beginning. So it's X and then sin 29 equals 12. And then what happens is, now because X is on this side, now you got to move the sin. And the opposite of what sin is doing, sin is multiplying. So the opposite would be to divide by sin. Sin 29. So you get X equals 12 divided by sin 29. And that's what you type into your calculator. Another way that I just explain it really fast without doing all the work is I just tell everybody that because 12 is at the top of the fraction, your answer will be 12 divide sin or cos or tan at the bottom. So sin 29. So that's what you would type. If you see the number at the top, you'll leave it at the top. And then at the bottom goes sin, cos, tan, whichever one you're doing. But if the number's at the bottom, then it just moves to the beginning. If the number's at the bottom, it moves to the beginning.